Okay. Ready, set, go. Hey ladies, welcome to another episode of the Woman Podcast. My name's Katie and we are back. We're so excited to be back for this fall season. We've got some great stories coming up this fall, and we've got Woman Conference coming, and we have a cool Bible study. Cool Bible study.
Cool. It's the coolest.
It's the coolest.
Study.
But
So
after Woman,
excited.
we are going to have a Bible study that comes out. It's going to be called Who is This King of Glory?
Ooh.
And it'll run for 6 weeks. And it'll be like last year where it was on the podcast, but also on the Woman app. And then
awesome.
also like available in print. And so,
Yeah.
I
So
love
the
it.
other campuses can do it at their women's ministries.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that.
I know. I'm excited. So today we have a guest with us. Her name's Amanda Tarver.
Hello.
Hello. So Amanda and her husband Tyler have been around New Life for many years.
Mm-hmm.
How many years?
I think it's been 15 or
Oh my
16.
gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay, and tell how you guys got connected to New Life.
Okay. We were in college, and he was in Russellville. I was at UCA.
Yeah.
And we met at Super Summer. Do you know where that is?
No.
It's a camp at OBU.
You know all the camps. We were just
We were
talking earlier.
campers.
We were just talking earlier about a kids camp that Amanda has her kids at this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Super
So
Summer.
Super Summer is a camp for teenagers, youth, you know,
Okay.
and it's for a week at OBU in the summer.
Okay.
And I got connected with some sorority sisters of mine that did it every summer.
Okay.
And they invited me to be a staffer. And so I went to that one summer and I met Tyler there.
Okay.
Because he had went as a camper and was a staffer and all the things. And so that's where we met. And then we
So
started.
you were a student and he was a staffer?
No, we were both staffers.
Okay,
Yeah. So I had just finished my freshman year.
Okay.
No, my sophomore year of college.
Okay.
And he was going to be a senior.
Okay.
And so we met at the college and started dating right after that. Yeah, it was like a little camp matchup. It was so great.
It's every girl's dream.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I can remember going to camp. I went to Brook Hill when I was
Oh my gosh, I love
younger.
Brook. My daughter went to Brook Hill this year.
Did she love it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was obsessed with Brook Hill.
Me too.
If you are listening and you are looking for a camp for your children to go to, it's a Christian camp in Hot Springs.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It's the best. And I actually know the owners. Lindley
Yes.
McMillan. She's one of my
I remember her.
very good friends, and she is amazing.
Yes.
Her and her family pour everything into that camp.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
I love it. Yeah, she got back and loved it.
I
and-
don't know why we started talking about Brook Hill.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, getting back. So, how I went to New Life.
Oh, yeah.
So, so we met there and then started dating that fall. And he was like, "Hey, there's this church in Conway that I heard about. Let's check it out. You know, because we want to go to church together on Sundays." And so we started going together. And then quickly, you know, they grabbed Tyler to start doing crazy stuff
Right.
for Elevation back in those days.
I
you know?
remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so we've been there ever since. Well, we took like a 1.5 hiatus to help some friends launch a church, and then we
Okay.
came back after
Okay.
that. So, yeah.
And then now you guys are at New Life in Saline County.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Saline.
Saline.
don't know.
Mm-hmm. Saline County. Best of Arkansas.
Oh gosh.
And I have the worst accent.
In real?
I don't look as country as I sound, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
You don't look country at all. It's hilarious.
So Saline County. Yes, we go to the Saline campus where Pastor Chad and Kendall serve, and we
Yes.
love them so
Yes.
much. Yeah.
And then Tyler is the dean of our NLC.
Well, not anymore.
Oh, he's not the dean. What
Not
do
the
we-
dean
what do we
anymore.
call
Josh
him?
Ross is the dean. He is over education for the church and something else. I'm sorry, Tyler. I should know.
That's
and I
hilarious.
don't know.
So we have a college at New Life,
Mm-hmm.
NLC College, and Tyler has overseen that for years.
Yeah, 5 or
And
6
then
years.
Now it's a broader umbrella, including he oversees the college.
School of ministry.
internship,
yes, and something else.
And anything else that falls under.
I'm sorry, I'm real bad at remembering all the things.
It's okay.
That's what he does.
Okay.
So he, is at Conway a lot, and I come when I can.
Yeah.
To meetings.
Yeah, you're here.
I'm here today. I usually have all the children and all the things. So.
Yes. Okay, children. So you guys have 3 kids.
Yeah.
Tell us about your niños.
Yes, we have 3 of the niños. And our oldest is about to be 12 next week. So he's getting real close to being a teenager.
That's crazy.
Not okay about it. Our middle is a girl, Ezra Quinn. She is 10, and she acts like she's 15, And then Finnick is our youngest, and he just turned 6.
Finnick, yes, just turned 6. Jack, my oldest, was at his birthday party. It was a good time.
Yeah. Oh, they had a blast.
All the little 5 and 6-year-olds at the trampoline park living their best life.
They were so sweaty. I was like, okay, they had a good time.
They had a good time. A kid has a good time when they're sweaty.
Yep.
Bless it.
They had a good time, yeah.
Okay, so in Finnick, you guys adopted.
We did, yes. Okay. We adopted our youngest.
That's really what I wanted to hear about today, is just how, God brought him into your family. And did you know you wanted to adopt? Tell us the story.
Okay, here we go. Let's rewind.
Okay.
Go back in time.
Let's go back in time.
So, I grew up in church and thought I knew the Lord, but I really didn't have a relationship until my sophomore year of college. So I dedicated my life to Jesus, and literally everything started changing in my life. Like, I all of a sudden cared about so many people. I know, isn't that funny? I started caring about people. It's this
thank
thing.
you, Lord.
Yes, thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
I was always kind of self-centered, and a brat growing up. But I wanted, and that's why I went to Super Summer, because I wanted to serve. And I just got really involved in our church and all the things. And then I met Tyler, and he loved the Lord. And ever since we started dating, it was on his heart. He would talk about it all the time, wanting to adopt. And I'm like, okay, that's cool,
We'll see about that.
I was like, let's talk about it, But then by the time we got married, it was like our plan.
Wow.
It was like a done deal. Like, we were going to try to have our own, and if it didn't work, we were going to adopt all of our kids. And so that was kind of the plan. We tried first, and, we had 2 of those homemade little nuggets. That's what Tyler calls them. Homemade.
We got 2 that are homemade.
2 that are homemade. We adopted the 3rd. So we had 2, so we knew the 3rd one was going to be adopted. So we started the process when Ezra was 2, because we were going to adopt internationally.
Okay.
And then we went through 2 different agencies, and they both got shut down.
The agencies did?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah, it was kind of a crazy, emotional ride, because we were kind of in the middle of it, and then they got shut down both for corruption.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one in Guatemala, and the other was Congo.
In Africa.
In Africa, And so, I know. So I was like, okay, Lord, what's going on? And so we just started praying, and then we were both like, we know we want to adopt, so let's just try it domestically, So we got in touch with an agency in Little Rock, started that process, and then our life group that we were leading at the time, it was before Saline Campus had launched, but we were having life groups.
Okay.
And so our life group helped us raise money, because at that time we did not have, the money to do this, and it's quite expensive. And so we did like this little phone-a-thon that we did, and raised all the money. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
And so we paid for half of it at that point, because that's what we needed.
Yeah.
And we got on the list and all the things, and so we started getting phone calls for babies, but it would just never work out. Like, one time there was a call, and Tyler was in Colorado, and I couldn't get a hold of him, so I'm like, I can't make this decision without talking to my husband, and so it was kind of like emotional, and like, oh my gosh, I just turned down a baby. It gets kind of, I don't know.
So they will call.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we have a baby that needs to be placed in a home.
That's right.
We need to know right now.
They give you a time frame.
So it's like 2 hours or like 24 hours? Or
That particular one that I was just talking about was literally like, they said we need to know in an hour.
Wow.
And I was like, and I couldn't get a hold of my husband, and so it was.
And
not
you
a good
wanted
deal.
to make that decision with him. You're
Oh,
like, I don't
absolutely.
feel qualified to just say yes.
Yeah, and so turning down a baby was weird and emotional. It was just a weird deal. So for like another month or so, we just kind of sat and we're like, we need a break from this. And then one Friday night, we had some friends over. And at 10 p.m. that night, a friend of ours called, and Tyler went in the other room, so I knew it was like a serious call because we had friends over, and I was like, what's he doing, And he comes back like 30 minutes later, and he had tears in his eyes, and I was like, what is it? And so our friends leave, and he was like, there's a baby needing to be adopted. Like our friend, it was a friend of a friend that worked at.
Why am I tearing up?
Listen, I get like this too, so I'm sorry if I start going early or later.
Well, I'm a crier, so I'll just sit here and watch you tell your story and tears roll down my face. Carry on.
Okay, well, I won't look at you so I don't cry. But yeah, so he's like starting to cry, and he's like, Amanda, our friend, like this mom just came into the hospital at Baptist and wants to give her baby up for adoption. She can't afford, she had an 11-month-old and was about to have another baby and couldn't afford it. Like, just could not do it. But she, for some reason, didn't want her baby to go to an agency.
Yeah.
And so,
okay, so what does that look like? So if a mom is in the hospital and wants to give her baby up for adoption, she is given the choice of a adoption agency or what?
Well, to my understanding, it first goes to the agency if they don't have anyone in the family or someone in mind.
Okay.
So if they don't have someone, it automatically, they call the agency and they come and take care of everything.
Right. Okay.
And they said that's all they see.
Yeah.
And so this particular doctor, this was his very first adoption that he had ever been a part of.
Wow.
And he was my friend's friend. And so he called his friend, and they had already adopted this way too. And so he called and was like, hey, are y'all wanting another baby? And they were like, well, we're not ready for that, but we have friends that are. Like, can I call them? And he was like, well, yeah, And so he called us and told us the situation, and she was 37 weeks pregnant. That was her first time to be in for an appointment.
Oh, gotcha.
And all the things. And so they were like, we're going to have her back in on Monday. We're going to do all the tests and everything. And, y'all just take the weekend and pray on it and let us know on Monday. And we were like, oh my gosh, because the baby would be there in like 2 weeks. And so, And so it's really cool, too, because we always felt called to adopt another race because we wanted to bring that in our family and teach us and our family, extended family, just about loving everyone,
Yeah.
And so it was just really cool because they were like, it's a black little boy, just let us know. And so on Monday we were like, yes, we want him, And literally 2 weeks later, apparently we can't be at the hospital until he's born legally. I don't know. And so Tyler and I went to Tamale's restaurant. We were eating lunch, and we were like, this is so weird. We're having a baby today, and we're eating queso. And so we sat down, ordered drinks. She brought us our cheese dip, and then we got the call that he was born. So we were like, I'm sorry, we have to go.
Oh, my gosh.
And so it was funny. We told the waitress what was going on, and she was like, oh, my gosh, y'all go. Like, don't even worry about it.
Free cheese dip on us.
Yeah. And then, like, literally a few months later, we were in there again, and she saw us with him. And so it was just really neat.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. So, we go to the hospital, and, it was just different than having a baby. So it was really funny because Tyler was like, okay, I'll drop you off. And I was like, okay, we're going to stay the night. He's like, oh,
Wait,
well, no.
Stay the night?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Because the baby has to stay 24 hours, for testing and all the
just
things.
The normal.
Yeah, just the normal, like having a baby. And so we got a room and everything. But this time, I didn't get waited on hand and foot.
Right.
Like,
So they put you in a separate hospital room.
Yeah.
And you slept on the hospital bed?
Yep, slept on the hospital bed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like I was, having a baby. So I felt way better this time.
Yeah, and they didn't interrupt you every 3 hours.
They still interrupted you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Came in the middle of the night?
Came in the middle of the night bringing, and I had a friend that was donating breast milk to me, and so she had brought her milk up, so they would bring me a new bottle, for him and everything.
Okay. So then was he in the room with you and not in the room with his birth mom?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's why I'm like assuming that he was overnight with her.
Right.
Okay.
But no, she, got to hold him, and then she was ready to give him up because it was really emotional for her.
I'm sure.
And she wanted to meet us at first, and then she changed her mind.
Yeah.
So that's sad. I hope one day we get to meet her.
Yeah.
And so it was just really hard for her.
Yeah.
So she was on the floor below us.
Okay.
And so, so we had Finnick within an hour of him being born.
Oh my God.
So it was awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We love
so
it.
then you bring him home and he's a part of your family. And how did what was it like bringing a new baby into the home? I mean, were your kids just like, this is normal, just like how Titus adjusted to having Ezra in the home? Was it just like...
Well, it was a little different because, Titus and Ezra are only 20 months apart.
Okay.
So it was like having two babies. They
didn't really welcome each other.
Yeah, Titus was just like, get out of my way,
He's not even 2 yet.
Yeah. Okay. But they were, Titus was 5, Ezra was about to turn 4.
Okay.
And so they were just kind of like, what is this? Ezra was so excited.
Yeah.
And I can say that first week was really rough for me.
Really?
And I can talk about it now, and just to encourage others who adopt too, that it's okay to feel this way, because I was very filled with doubts.
Really?
Maybe I made a mistake. I don't know if I can love this baby like my other two.
Wow.
All the hard, deep feelings. And then I had a friend that had adopted 2 babies, and she came and sat with me one day and just listened to me cry and hear all my things, and she was like, it's okay, get it out, tell me all the things, and then she was like, listen, these feelings will pass, and then one day you're gonna wake up and he's yours. I know. And so a few days later, I'm not kidding, that's exactly what happened. I woke up and he was mine. And so now it's like he's my favorite child. Sorry, Titus and Ezra, I love you.
They don't listen to the Woman Podcast.
No, they don't listen.
They're fine. Oh my gosh.
So now it's like, I got to speak about this at our campus a few months ago, and I was telling them it reminds me of we are adopted into the family of God.
Yeah.
And adoption is a part of our story too, and it's just such a special thing. And I feel like it's bonded me to him like nothing I've ever seen or felt before,
That's amazing.
And so it's just been such a blessing, and he is such a blessing just to my family. Honestly, I grew up in a home that was kind of sort of racist, if I'm being really honest. Yeah. And just the way he has changed the hearts in my own family, it's just the most beautiful thing, that I've seen. And so, anyways, it's just been really beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sweet Finn.
I know. He's the best.
He is the best.
I love him.
He's so cute.
He is a cutie. You want to eat him because he's so cute.
Well, and now I can say he's so cute, but then he's such a little boy now.
I know.
He's grown so much.
I know.
It's like the difference between my Bo and Jack. It's like Bo still has chubby cheeks, and I'm like, oh, you're so cute.
Yes.
And then Jack's like a boy.
Yeah. Like becoming a little man.
Just in 2 years.
Yeah.
How much they changed.
I know. It's so sad. And I was thinking, like, one of your questions I saw when we were texting about this was, looking back, what would I do different, or
what do you wish you had known?
Yeah, that's what it was. What I wish I would have known. The main thing I thought was, because it's like, I don't wish I would have known how I would have felt. You know, I love the way everything happened because I
Right.
loved just how I grew. You know, now I have this testimony to share with others that are adopting that, hey, you're going to be okay. Like God's going to place that love in your heart for that baby, you know. But what I do wish I would have known, since he's an African-American child, I wish I would have known how to do his hair better. Like, I look back at his pictures, I'm like, I am so embarrassed. Like, I'm so sorry to all the black community. Please forgive me.
You needed some coaching.
I really did.
So how'd you learn? Did somebody have to teach you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. As a matter of fact, even Miss Donna here at school,
Yes.
she kind of took me under her wing for a hot minute and was like, honey, let me just, you know, and I'm like, please teach me, you know. And now we just have a routine. Like, every day we know that his hair is important to get all the things in it, and his skin, you know, to keep it moisturized, and just it's just different than, you know, us. And so
Praise God for Miss Donna.
I'm going to miss her.
Oh, I know. I love her.
So, yeah, she's amazing.
One thing I was going to ask you is, you know, you said that you had a lot of emotions that first week.
Mm-hmm.
What about Tyler? Did he deal with the same? I don't know. Do you feel comfortable speaking for him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he wouldn't mind at all.
Okay.
He was completely smitten as soon as he saw him.
Okay.
And I love how it worked out that way. The Lord is so good, because since I was struggling, Tyler is amazing. He's a really good husband. And that week, I wouldn't get up with him at night. I mean, that's how real it was. I wouldn't get up when I heard him crying. I was like, you know, and Tyler, he got an air mattress and put it in his room, and he would just shut the door and do all the things. And so, until I came along.
That's amazing.
So he was really, really good and strong for all of us. We joke about it now. He's like, remember that week that you didn't want to be a mom? And I was like, okay, stop it.
We all have those weeks.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
Adoption involved or not.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
But yeah, he would get up and do all the feedings and do everything.
Wow.
While I was in there, you know, eating popcorn and being a little jerk.
Good job,
so,
Tyler.
Yeah, good job, Tyler. He did good.
And he was praying for your soul.
He was in there. He did.
He was like, Lord,
please.
we made this decision.
Yes. And you know, also what was really hard, I think really weighed on me, is at the time, and my mom won't care that I say this, we've talked about it, but you know, even at the time, she was kind of in my ear like, Amanda, I don't know if this is for you. I think, you know, you really need to think about this, because there's a 10-day grace period, you know, and there were a few friends that were speaking that into me too. And I was like confused and, you know, just fear and doubt. And it wasn't until my friend that I told you about that came and just spoke life over me. And that was when the Holy Spirit took over, you know?
Right. So for anyone listening that maybe has a friend that's adopting, how can you be a good friend and supportive to other families that are going through this process?
Oh, that's a really good question. I would be supportive like my friend Katie. She was amazing. And I mean, you're amazing too, Katie. All the Katies are amazing.
The other Katie's the most amazing. No. If you're listening, you're better than me.
No, you're not. But so I just love how real she was. I would just encourage you to be real and tell them how you really felt, and that it's okay to feel those feelings, and that it's going to pass. You know, that's what I needed to hear, because the ones who were just like, love him, it's okay, I wasn't getting there. You know, it wasn't until she sat on the floor and told me she felt the same way. That was when I was like, okay, wait, it's okay to have these feelings. Yeah,
I'm not the worst for feeling this. Like, this is maybe just part of the adjustment process.
Yes. And now that I know what I know about adoption, that's totally normal. Yeah. It's just you need to feel them first and talk about them. Yeah. And I was kind of scared to talk about it, because talking about it with my mom was the wrong idea, because she's my mom and she wants to take care of me, and, you know. Yeah. And so just being able to sit and tell her all my feelings, and she was like, yeah, I felt that too. Okay. Yeah, you know. Yeah. So just being real with someone, that's what I needed. Okay. And then, you know, encouraging on the back end, obviously. Yeah. That's so good. I love that.
Well, thanks for talking with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So glad to have you on the podcast. And that's it.
Okay.
Thanks for listening, people.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.